We're gonna have some fun.
Sometimes I feel like, I'll speak serious. Sometimes I feel like it's a fleeting fear. Like, I was watching
Mm.
Don't Look Up. Like the whole time I was laughing to the very end. It's waiting for him to up. I was watching Don't Look Up at the very end. The whole movie, is about to go out. But you see how people just trivialize and make humor out of something that is so final and absolute. The idea of it just makes me appreciate togetherness and camaraderie more and family. But the
Yeah.
actual outcome of it, I mean, of course, is you know not the best thing to think about in the world. But I just feel like depending on the circumstance, everything has expiration. But as long as you can live a fulfilled life, it should be best thing you can do until then.
Mm.
Preach.
Cause the non movie, man, like you see how much, I don't know if you watched it yet, but you see how much trolling trolling was done because we have become so desensitized to the idea of life and death. We just think of that as like
Yeah.
it's not me, so therefore it doesn't apply. And it's like, bro, like, but someone close to you or someone adjacent closely to you has. Especially with the pandemic, you realize more and more how quick and how you say how short life can be and how
Yeah.
short it
Yeah.
seems to be.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Really crazy. I've been struggling with like our means of existence, like how we got
Right,
here.
right.
And I've been struggling with that chicken versus the egg thing where it's like, well, how could all this shit be created from nothing? You know? But
Right.
how could it have always existed if nothing created it at the same time, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
like, if all the material to make us has all existed, I'd be wondering like, have we always existed in theory? And if we have, does that mean that we're gonna just continue to exist?
Do you mean as a people, or do you mean the person as the person we are?
I mean, I guess if, in my opinion, if the raw materials have always existed to make you, Frankie,
Right.
right? That means if if you're, God forbid, but if I'll use myself as an example. I hate using other people. If the material to make me has always been here, then wouldn't that mean if I pass away that that same material could, in theory, come together again? Maybe not
Yeah.
like
The
millions of
exact
years down,
version.
but trillions of years down the road, maybe. And then that makes me think, like, do we just keep doing this shit over and over again, like the cycle? That makes sense.
Well, it's even more interesting you said that because I was in a car I left the other day, and the driver was saying the same thing. He was like, we're living in our past, present, and future, and multiple instances of ourselves. We just don't see each other because of whatever you're saying. But to the concept of what you're saying, the main thing he was trying to express was that we are the source, and like you hear the words "greatest show on earth" and the most amazing civilization to ever exist. Whether these things are, inclusive to the earth or to the universe, it shows you that there's some type of knowledge and some type of material civilization that allows us to continue to exist throughout ages.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of practices of spirituality do iterate that reincarnation is a thing. I feel like your point is more assuring to the point of that of how materials work, but to the narcissist in a person, it would seem selfish because it's like, what if it's not me? Party.
Mm. Interesting.
And that's just the objective thing. So I can see somebody saying, well, that's still not, that's cool and all, but if I die, that's it. When I get born back, it won't be me. But because we don't know what death is truly, you would never really know what that means until it happens. So,
Yeah.
like you said, I mean, but to your point, when I think about it, as we get older, it does become a more real, a more clear realization that this is a real thing.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was younger and I was like in my early 20s, it was kind of like, I'm young, not saying I was young, but it's like I didn't really conceptualize things to like I guess now and like last year maybe to like okay, like you can kind of like sense these things more, or sense that it's like an ominous feeling or like a harboring thing. So I don't know, like overall, I do feel like it's worth pondering on because I feel like you don't want to live like, I'll tell you, I'm gonna die. I may die tomorrow, but at least you understand that it is not promised. Tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah. This human shit is crazy.
Yeah, isn't it? Is it? It is crazy.
Yeah. And then I don't even want to like go down this rabbit hole because this is the type of shit that I become
Huh?
all the time. For a second, when you mentioned kind of just a narcissistic kind of view that, whatever. But we also have that view when it compares to animals. It blows my mind how animals shit just like we do. They fuck just like we do. They have feelings just like we do. But we've created this stigma that we're at the top of the food chain and that they don't experience any of the shit that we do, but they do.
I feel so awkward when I try to belittle pets. But no, yeah, I was saying like it's interesting how belittling we treat
Practice while you
that
can. You'll be entering the
animal
field in a
species
bit.
because at one point in time, we were doing that to each other as humans. I feel like we always, and that comes back to your original point about narcissism. It's like we feel like we have to have support superiority to feel almost, to my opinion, alive. I don't even think it's to feel like gratified. I think it's a feeling of aliveness because at the end of the day, and to the original thought about your question that we think about death is like the thing about life is that we've been told that we have free will, and we're going to really have this conversation. Like we've been told we have free will, right? And I've actually had this convo with Miles, ironically enough. I had a convo with Miles a few months ago about how like free will is technically not free will, and in my mind, I've always been in the notion that like this comes. Okay, so you said there's material already that can rematerialize however long down the line, right? My thing is with that being said, how do we not know that this is a genetic design that's predetermined already that we're just living through? Yeah, I'm not saying it's simulation. I'm not doing none of that matrix shit. I'm just overall speaking.
Bro, no, I'm on the exact same page.
You feel what I'm saying, right?
It's a philosophical concept that
Time to
if
deploy to the
we
war
came out,
zone.
we essentially came out the womb. Well, even when we were growing in the womb, we're a blank slate, and everything that happens around, come out, other things, almost dictates our actions, and it's kind of like
Precisely, exactly.
it's that quote, we're a product of our. I actually.
Battle Royale.
I don't know why you cut
Be
now.
advised,
but-
gas is closing
Yeah,
in.
my
Proceed
controller's
to the
acting
safe
weird.
zone.
Bounty contract
So
located.
that's why he's looking around us. Once you took that real.
Enemy
Get back to the
teams
game
tracking your
and
position.
to further your point. That's definitely why, like, I feel like the metaverse is so important Because some people are not ready for that. See, like some people do not want to think about that. Some people are willing to live
Hunt
in
the
an interest so
enemy
they don't have to
before they
experience
hunt
death.
you.
And that's what this is about. This thing about
Bounty target is up.
it's not about
Take 'em
a
down.
digitalized world. It's about immortality. That's what this shit is about. They don't want to die. They either gonna try to go to space to live forever.
We're all
And,
gonna die.
hey, brother, you feel me? But if I feel like I have more money than God and I know more, why can't I outlive? That's how they feel. That's how they feel, and they're gonna do it. It's funny, right? It's a joke, right? Exactly. That's how I feel. It's a fucking joke, but they are dead ass. They are dead ass, and they feel like, yo, we can't live on this earth
small
no more.
building, first floor.
We can't stay on this earth no more. That's cool. All right,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
coming.
about to say.
No,
Where
I'm
you
over.
guys
You know,
at?
oh shit, I'm over. I'm next to you.
Oh, you're
You know,
next.
and
Oh, no,
they feel
I'll
like
break you.
either super winner.
It's there's a philosophical concept. I don't know what it's called, but it's based off there's some people who believe like free will, and then there's people who believe that we don't have free will, and there's
Finally.
everything in between. And I do believe that concept, that our decisions are we make the decision, but we make them based off of the influence of everything that's been around us. And so it's almost like we're living like that simulation shit. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's not that for sure. It's just I'm trying to think of the concept. I forgot what the name of it was. Like,
Yeah.
if everything gets told to you and taught to you, then what decision can you make for yourself, really?
Exactly. How can you make a real decision on your own? Taught to do what you know.
Enemy hunters lost
If
your
you're being
trail.
taught to do
You're
what
safe.
what you've been taught, is that truly you or what you know to be true? Now we get into the idea of personality and individualism. We're like, okay, cool. I may have been taught
We're
these
losing
theories,
ground.
but
Move
I
it.
have the free reign to choose
Time's
how I
up.
adapt them and
Objective
utilize them.
failed.
And that's where you get different outcomes, but technically, one of those outcomes are still predetermined, and it's meant to be persons.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It can be either way. It can go either way. But I say all to say, like you said, that concept philosophy. Oh, yeah, y'all fight. No, never mind, y'all fight. Come on, bro.
Need some
I don't
recon
want no
out here.
problem, big brother.
UAV
Yeah, you know,
beginning
so
flyover.
like, the metaverse, you know, is a really a concept that's what we look into more, because that is going to allow people
Location marked for you.
There's niggas over there.
to
You guys wanna go over there?
I dropped my money to you so you can get Lodi. Ab,
Yeah.
UAV is out of fuel.
drop your
Ready
money.
for resupply.
I dropped it for you, but here.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Oh, fuck. Here.
why did you push guns, Ricky? Why did you push guns?
Oh no.
Wait, what do you want me to get?
But no, like you
Enemy
said,
we
like,
don't have
the
enough
UAV
data
metaverse
now.
is going to be so appealing because it's like
I
Ready
get
Player
UAV
One.
again.
Yeah, like that
You've got a
that
loadout
episode
drop
of
inbound.
Black
Got
Mirror.
recon on the
you know?
way.
We
UAV beginning
don't
flyover.
talk. We
People
show
over
it in
there.
movies. We disguise
People
it as
over
like a, oh, you know.
People, where you guys at?
Trying to get this last
You
bit of
got
money.
gas inbound.
The good
Safe
hero
zone
will live on.
relocated.
But if I could, people will pay for that. People will pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
UAV is out of fuel.
But I think
Returning
the
for
good thing is, like, the thing
resupply.
about that is you understand life more being a father. You know, like you have a appreciation for life on a different level. to where,
you keep buying shit,
Enemy UAV.
I
Taking
didn't buy
the lead.
shit.
This nigga Ab.
I didn't buy shit. I bought the UAV, remember?
Oh, did you drop your money?
Yeah.
Enemy
Oh,
UAV
okay.
active.
Sorry. No, Frank, I'm sorry. I completely agree with you. Okay.
Come on, y'all.
Where-
Come on, y'all.
Wait, Ab, where'd you drop your money?
Under fire.
Destination one.
Oh.
Oh shit. You see the money?
God,
No.
I picked it up. You know, buddy? Yeah, I took
Holy shit, bro.
I got it back.
I got Pike behind me.
Oh shit. you,
remaining.
bitch, nigga.
Less than 25 remain.
Yo, we were motherfucking lost. That was fun.
Nah, Frank, but you're totally right. And can you hear me?
I'm listening.
I even take things a step further with it. You know how you're talking about your past, present, and future all existing at once?
Yeah.
I don't believe us traveling around the sun, but if we weren't traveling around the sun, we wouldn't have any concept of time whatsoever.
Which is true.
Use this time to train.
Which means that if time doesn't exist, then our existence is just constant, and the only thing that changes is the aging that happens with like the what is it? The free valence electrons that damage cells, so that when they reproduce.
Okay, exactly.
That's what, if we are just constantly existing like this, everything just blows my mind. It's like,
You're talking that talk right now. Yeah. See, I feel like people who were in our position 50 years ago truly had to accept that it was gonna end. You feel me? With technology, they really are exploring the idea of what if it doesn't have to end. That is where it gets convoluted.
yeah. And it's
But
like,
that-
yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's then us, like, is it for the betterment of human nature to live on or be immortal, quote unquote, or is that for the selfish need of not wanting to perish?
I mean, in my opinion, and it's kind of like, you know the story of the Tower of
Gas is
Babel,
closing on your position.
where everybody spoke the same language and God is supposed to be becoming God as they
Enemy
could.
soldier nearby.
I think that's the goal, is to become God. And once that happens, then, you know, can you perish?
And you perish. And it's funny, I put in one of my albums that I have, like, actually, like, I have a song on there, a song title on there, right? Like a topic on who talks to God. That's what the guy was saying. Like, he said a lot of stuff, but the main thing, he was like, it comes down to being able to talk to God. That's what they
Got
want to
his
know.
ass, bitch.
I'm like, wow.
Another one for you.
Yo, I didn't. What the fuck out of my way. Don't
Oh, he
fight my
almost fucked
nigga.
me up. Dropping bottom. Who's dropping bottom?
He tried to fight my
Enemy
nigga.
UAV active. Enemy dropping into the AO.
I one running up.
Touch on the other side.
Under heavy rain.
Oh,
Camping in the corner on the 3rd floor.
Oh shit, no. Yeah, bitch.
Good shit.
Nuke. Yeah, nigga. He said, well, fuck you, bitch.
Enemy UAV active.
Yo, I'm going in, bro.
Well, he's right top.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shotgun.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Pick me, nigga. Oh shit, okay. I'm coming back, bitch. I'm coming back, bitch.
I'm going to tents
Okay, bet.
to survive.
Where we going, guys?
Positive ID on the bounty target.
Ooh, I wanna
Let's make
wreck
this
them
quick.
niggas, bro. So we going to
What?
I I want to rush it.
We're losing ground. Move it.
I'm going back.
Yeah, definitely.
But what?
He said, well,
Fuck up this bounty.
what? Hit his ass.
Tracking enemy.
Fuck.
Enemy
Bring me
UAV
up.
active.
He's gonna be rushing. Can somebody revive me? Somebody revive me? Revive? Y'all?
Hostile dropping.
Y'all running the opposite way?
Okay. Oh shit.
Come back to 10?
Oh, you guys, you at 10? Okay. Bro, I be in the zone. I be
Huh?
seeing people. Oh, bad.
Ammo. Y'all good. Thank you, buddy. Well, y'all both left. You
Wait,
back,
I saw
please?
you, your meter. I was like, oh, they got me. Hey, but over. Hey, hold on, come over.
Marking waypoint.
Supply box located. Move to secure.
Disregard last.
Enemy.
Oh shit, we getting shot at. What the fuck, man? Oh shit. I love it.
Whoa! Intense, he's thirsty.
We'll come back stronger next time.
Hey, I don't give a fuck. I'm clipping that. I do not care. I do not care. We got good content.